You are listening to episode 19 of the Dyslexia Mom Life podcast. Today, we're going to be hearing from experts from dyslexia schools who are going to share with you their advice when you're just starting this journey. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy their amazing advice. I'm Nicole Holcomb, attorney by day and podcaster by night, a former educator, school counselor, and administrator, and mom to a 9-year-old daughter with dyslexia, who loves all things Harry Potter, Minecraft, and science. A few years ago, she was identified with dyslexia, and our life seemed to turn upside down for a while, quite literally. I created the Dyslexia Mom Life podcast to help you navigate the upside down journey of dyslexia. You got this. If you're wanting to thrive as a mom in this dyslexia journey, then you're in the right place. Let's get started.
Hello, everyone. My name is rwilson. I've been asked what advice I would give to a mom who's just starting her dyslexia journey. I'm the executive director of Royce Learning Center, which includes Trident Academy in Savannah, Georgia. Prior to that, I was headmaster at a boarding day school for 22 years that served students exclusively who had a dyslexic profile. The school served day students in grades 2 through 12 and boarding and day students in grades 7 through 12. Chatham Academy serves students in grades 2 through 12 who exhibit specific learning disabilities. My first bit of advice is to get your child the appropriate help as soon as you suspect or learn that they have a dyslexic profile. In order to help you choose the best path, I suggest you take some time researching and learning as much about dyslexia as possible. The best site to visit is that of the International Dyslexia Association. There's a wealth of information for parents and probably too much information to digest regarding research and best practices for students with dyslexia. Once you learn that your child's dyslexic, you should have a comprehensive psychoeducational battery completed. School districts in many states are mandated to have this testing done for you, but you'll have to ask for it first. Some states will also allow you to choose the person doing the testing, even though they may have already tested your child. I mention this because people who administer these tests are like any other vocation that exists. There are good ones there and there are bad ones. You want to find a diagnostician who understands learning disabilities as well as dyslexia. Other than word of mouth, schools that specialize in serving students with dyslexia often have a person or list of people they are familiar with and who can provide the best testing results for you. Having a psychoeducational test and report done is not inexpensive, but is well worth the money when it comes to guiding you as to what your child's specific learning style is and perhaps the best advice on how to proceed educationally. The younger your child's diagnosed, the sooner you can take appropriate action for their educational journey. My next bit of advice will differ somewhat depending on the age of your child once you discover they are dyslexic and possible services or lack of, depending on the geographical area you are living. If you live in or near a major metropolitan area, there's a good chance that you have a number of options to choose from. Many years ago, the only option many people had was to send their child to a boarding school that specialized in teaching children with learning disabilities and or dyslexia. During the last 20 years or so, day schools have sprung up in most cities across the country. Most parents do not want to send their children away to a boarding school, but there are times and circumstances when this would be the best option. I could spend much more time discussing the pros and cons of boarding school life, but time will not allow that today. I'll be happy to discuss this at another time or take questions from those of you who may wish to call or email me. Many public schools do a very good job educating students with dyslexia, but there are probably more that do not. If you feel that your public school is not up to the task, you can try to find a private school that specializes or look for a qualified tutor. Expect either option to affect your pocketbook significantly. One can easily spend between $10,000 and $40,000 to get the appropriate help. Depending on the severity of your child's dyslexia and the social emotional aspects of their experience with education so far, this will help you formulate your best choice. Private schools that specialize and serve students exclusively with learning disabilities will most likely provide your child with a happy experience. They'll be surrounded by other students who have similar learning issues and will feel more in place and at ease with their classmates. There's usually little or no bullying or teasing tolerated in these environments. And all the teachers will have been trained in and understand these unique learning styles. It is costly for these schools to provide for or train their teachers in specific educational approaches. And that's why the price tag is not inexpensive. Your next option will be to find a qualified tutor. A $100 an hour fee is not uncommon, but when compared with other options, it may seem a bargain. Depending on your child's learning needs, expect to spend anywhere from a minimum of 2 hours a week and up to 5 hours a week. This preamble leads up to my next recommendation regarding what type of instruction is best for the dyslexic learner. The Orton-Gillingham approach is well researched and, in my opinion, the most effective means for a dyslexic child to progress with his or her education. I must be a little bit more succinct here due to time constraints, but following is my advice for choosing an Orton-Gillingham tutor. The Academy of Orton-Gillingham Practitioners and Educators, you can Google AOGPE, will provide you with a wealth of information. Watch out for people who just say they are OG trained. That could mean a 2-hour introductory course. Look for someone who has fellow status with the Academy or who is fully certified. The Academy has varying degrees of certification. At a minimum, I would want a tutor that has fellow status or is fully certified and has a minimum of 5 years full-time experience working with dyslexic children. Remember, that is the optimum. Tutors with less experience and more minimal certification can still be a tremendous help. Remember, whether you're starting your journey with a 6-year-old or a 16-year-old, there is help out there. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Middlemas, and I am the Director of Admission at the Fletcher School. My advice as you begin this journey is to breathe. Take a moment to absorb what is happening in your life. Realize you have a bright child who learns differently and deserves to be taught differently. Seek advice from someone you can trust, someone who has experienced working with or parenting a child with dyslexia. Take action. Make small steps toward finding someone or something that can help your child realize their potential. Don't stop because help is out there. Don't go it alone. Love your child, and remember it is because of great minds just like your child's that make our world an incredible place to live.
Hi, my name is Molly Buttitta. I've been in the field of special education for over 15 years. I've spent the last 10 years at Havern School in Littleton, Colorado, which serves students with dyslexia. I'm currently the head of school, but I taught at Havern for 8 years. In addition, dyslexia runs in my family, so I am watching my own young children closely. The advice I would give someone just starting the dyslexia journey is, although this is an unexpected journey, it does not have to be a painful one. The dyslexia community is strong. There is help, resources, and support. So please don't hesitate to reach out for whatever you need. Best of luck.
Hi, my name is Betsy Fanning, and I'm the mother of an adult with dyslexia, the grandmother of her 2 children who both have dyslexia, and I am the head of school at Trident Academy in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, a school that is part of our mission, transforms the lives of students with dyslexia. The single most important piece of advice for moms who have just received the news that their child is dyslexic is this: Relax. Take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. This news is not the end of the world. It's the beginning of a grand adventure. People with dyslexia are creative thinkers, entrepreneurs, out-of-the-box kind of people, successful. They just have to get through our antiquated education system. So the second piece of advice I would give is to find the right educational environment for your child. Some public schools do a fantastic job meeting the needs of their dyslexic students, and sadly, some do not. Multisensory sequential teaching is superior for students with dyslexia. There are many programs out there, and I would recommend finding someone who uses Orton-Gillingham or a program based in Orton-Gillingham. At Trident Academy, our students are immersed in OG instruction, a multi-sensory sequential approach to teaching reading. We also use multisensory math instruction to help our students move from the concrete to the abstract in math. I would suggest trying to find a program that does these kinds of things. But most importantly, never forget that your child is precious, and they will overcome these challenges with help and encouragement from you and from others. Celebrate his or her successes, strengths, and talents. And don't forget, relax. Enjoy your children. They are precious, and everything will be okay.
Greetings, I'm Dr. Steve Palmer. I am the head of school at the Cottage School in Roswell, Georgia. Cottage School serves students from 4th grade to 12th with various learning differences. Many of you probably have heard the acronym before, SLD. Most people understand it to mean specific learning disability. However, that's not what it really means. SLD stands for Smart Kids Learn Differently. So if smart kids learn differently, the secret is teach them differently. As a parent with 2 grown children, with one of them who grew up with a learning difference, I would always tell my daughter, use your disadvantage as an advantage. When you look through history, all the famous successful actors, entrepreneurs, inventors, Richard Branson, Henry Ford, Harrison Ford, the list goes on, they learned differently. So they used their disadvantage as their advantage. As a mom going through this, my advice is 2 things. 1, do the homework. There are a lot of programs out there. There are a lot of other opportunities that will help a child that struggles with dyslexia. And 2, always remember, you've got a little genius there. They just learn in a different way. So as you begin your journey, baby steps in mind. As I experienced this with my own child, it's a lot of work, but it's very rewarding because the most precious item in the world is your child. So I appreciate you taking time and listening. And if I could be of any service to you, let me know. Take care. Good luck.
Be sure to go to the show notes at dyslexiamomlife.com. There, under podcasts, you'll be able to find the show notes for this episode and find out all the great resources and links to the schools. And again, thanks to those who were able to make it to the show today and share their great advice just for you. Have you had a chance to watch the film Michael that is now on YouTube? It was released earlier this month. It's a short film, about 20 minutes long. I'll put a link in the show notes at dyslexiamomlife.com. I recommend this film because it is all about a mom's journey with her 7-year-old son who is struggling to learn to read, who is later identified with dyslexia. You're going to want to go watch this film and see how this one mom helps her son overcome dyslexia with the very limited resources she has available to her at the time. And in October, we're going to have a special guest on the show from Michael. So you're going to want to tune into that. But please watch the film beforehand. I think you will really enjoy it and find it inspirational, and it will really help you enjoy our interview in October even more. Thank you for listening today. I hope you enjoyed all of the experts on our show today. And I want to say again a special thank you to each person for taking time out of their very busy back to school schedule to share with our community. It really does mean the world to me, and I so appreciate each of them. They know how difficult this journey is, but they also know how wonderful and how just incredible it is as well. So I do appreciate their time today, and I appreciate your time for listening. So thanks again, and I look forward to talking with you again on Monday.